This is Smithy.tv.
Hello, people. This is Kenny Robinson with Clifton Joseph.
Hey.
Breaking down the news back here on Smitty TV. I know you're going, man, they're kind of getting erratic with their podcast.
Yeah, because true. I'm saying the same thing too, Kenny, because I miss you.
Well, it's nice to be missed, but our man Ryan here had film festivals to attend. And
Excellent, Ryan. Congratulations, man.
I've been,
Was it how to make love out in a small town? No, how to have an
orgy in a small town, which otherwise is called living in a trailer park.
And the ladies are probably saying, I hope not everything is small. Okay.
Well, the town is.
The town, yeah, okay.
Now you can find a place in a town called
small town guys
called
have
Big Dicks,
small.
Missouri. Well, then that'll be a whole different ball game, you know. So speaking of a ball game, did you watch Super Bowl yesterday?
Oh, only bits and pieces, Kenny. I'm absolutely retired from all the spectacles, the Grammys, the Oscars, all of those. And football is not one of my big sports, but
Okay.
I'm an NBA kind of guy, boxing and basketball. So I watch the highlights.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Well, living here in Canada, we don't get to see all the so-called great commercials that these companies spend $3 million
$4.5 million for 30 seconds.
seconds.
Isn't that some heights of excess capitalism, Kenny?
Well, we live
Caligula,
in a capitalist
Rome.
society, so and I want to see the new Carl's Jr. breakfast sausage commercial that got banned.
Excellent health food.
Well, let's be honest. Nothing's healthy for us. Not even sitting there watching a sporty event while you order everything from Pizza Hut.
But I was following because, Cam Newton was supposed to
The
be
black
MVP,
quarterback.
the black quarterback
Yeah.
that gets a lot of hate apparently. So I was like listening out to hear what happened. But he seemed to have, is it choked or wasn't
No,
ready to
he
dance?
didn't get
or
choked. That Denver Bronco defense
played scared, somebody said?
Well, at one point, but I think the game was already out of reach. The Panthers, they were up for a field goal, and their kicker kicked the ball and it hit the post. So right there's 3 points. That would have been 3 points in the game. Maybe then Newton would have leaped on that fumble. But the point is, they had half a dozen fumbles and 36 sacks. I mean, people are saying he choked, but you can't. He choked on the turf that he was digging out of his mouth and his ear, because every time he looked up, his offensive line, they were like witnesses at a black shooting. They was nowhere to be found, bro.
Overcome by choking.
If it's choking, he was eating dirt. That's
Oh
why
man,
he choked.
yeah.
So
they had a game plan for him. They looked like they scoped him out. They scouted him.
they
and
just
got it
came
down.
out and did what they do. They say defense wins. And I guess for all the sentimental people, then, this being Manning's last hurrah, so he gets that Super Bowl ring. But basically, there's been times when Manning has carried the team. The team carried Manning, as far as I'm concerned, on this one,
Yeah, it's a bit conflicted, his legacy, from what I hear.
It's, hey, it comes from quarterback and family,
Hey, there it is.
So,
That's half the thing right there. Silver spoon or a silver football ball with.
I remember when his daddy got drafted.
So who are you rooting for though, Kenny?
Well, because my son was rooting for the Carolina Panthers, so of course I went yay Panthers. But I had no emotional or financial investment in the outcome of this game. So it's been a long time since I've really cared about any one particular team. I always cheer for the Bears. I always kind of hope Minnesota Vikings do something. My friend Griff. He's in South Africa right now.
You mean Professor Griff from Public Enemy?
Griff, that loud ass kid, comic from California, Kenny. He's a Raiders fan, so I'll kind of cheer for the Raiders. A buddy of mine in Winnipeg is a Steelers fan, so if they're looking down, I'll kind of go Steelers. But I don't really have any emotional involvement, and I don't have any emotional involvement in the NBA, believe it or not.
Well, we can talk about that, but I certainly, I don't.
The All-Star game is coming to Canada.
Yeah,
First
I've
time in the
even watched
history of
that.
the NBA.
But hey,
It's
speaking
out
of
of America.
Speaking of halftime and thing, I did watch some of the halftime celebrity thing though.
Right.
Bruno Mars. I see my girl Beyonce doing her striptease, Black Power striptease.
I still haven't seen the original video, which I hear is outstanding and outrageous and out of bounds.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Well, Kanye gonna give her the award during the next video awards, regardless.
Always.
Kanye's gonna say, "I don't give a shit what somebody else, what you all voted for. Nothing was better than my girl's transformation video."
Beyonce.
And of course, everybody was, older guys are going, "This is the shittiest halftime show ever," and the younger people are going, "It's the best they've ever seen." What I thought was interesting was they showed the highlights from other shows, and you just go dead, dead.
Kiss of
dead.
Death, maybe?
Oh, well, like you see Whitney, gone.
yeah.
Michael Jackson, gone. James Brown, gone. Clarence Clemens with the E Street Band and Springsteen, gone. So,
Expired.
but it's 50 years. Now, I could only hope that all the original halftime people, the Up with people, we can only hope they're all gone. But I think they're phoning, asking for contributions for Ted Cruz somewhere right now.
Yeah, it's one of the most watched sports spectacles in the world, right?
It is.
Hundreds of millions of people. So
You know, even countries where they don't
Except
have
me.
NFL, they tune it in. But you know, so the commercials and the spectacle. I mean, it is probably. And also, Super Bowl Sunday is also the highest. Is one next to Christmas Day is the highest amount of domestic violence cases in North America.
Oh, you know, them big Yahoo dudes started slap up their women at home or what?
Either she starts vacuuming during a play, or you know their team's losing and liquor's always involved.
After your 25th beer and
You know, 25th beer,
Boilermaker.
you know, drinking whiskey. I mean, I had a friend of mine threaten some other guy just on Facebook because he started drinking and getting into whatever he gets into before the kickoff. So, and that's just on Facebook. So, you know, it's the good and the bad. But you know, but now we've got coming up the NBA All-Star Game.
Yeah. First time in Toronto in what, 65 years?
Well, NBA's only been in Toronto how long? So, I mean, so
Well, 20 years. But I mean, mind you, the first NBA game was actually played in Toronto in 1946 between the Toronto Huskies and the New York Knickerbockers.
were the Huskies a real team, or were
The
they
Huskies
like a
were a
university team?
real team, real Toronto, real team, and you know they fizzled out after a while too. I mean, when I was growing up here in town back in the '70s, it was Bob McAdoo and the Buffalo Braves.
Yes, I remember them vaguely.
So hey, this is another big spectacle where a lot of money will be spent, and I really resent the fact that my Ontario government gave the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, who own the Raptors and the Leafs and the FC team, $500,000 to help host this thing,
Well,
Kenny.
that's a drop in the bucket. Look at all the revenues coming in.
Dude.
Hotels, restaurants, the cabs. We're going to go on strike this weekend,
they,
weekend.
they don't even give Carabana, which brings in $500 million, that kind of money. So
Yes.
why
but
would you
if
need
you
that?
ask the NBA to account for their money or Carabana, then it's a very lopsided score, my brother. They, you
But-
know,
but
they
Kenny,
need to get. If the black man invented math, then they need to get in the Ouija board and bring them inventors back and have them work for Carabana, because Carabana never accounts for
Yeah,
the money.
yeah, it's true. It's
the
like, you know,
Raptors will account for
Some
the money.
criminals have 2 books. Apparently, Carabana don't have any books.
So, you can't blame that on the white man.
But look, Kenny, aren't the people going to come anyway? Like all the journalists are going to come, the teams are going to come, the celebrities are going to come. They're going to have their parties. And
Well-
by the way, there's a shitload of parties
Oh,
going
it's
on.
bigger than anything else.
So they will come anyway. So it's not. Why would you spend money for a gig that's going to happen, a successful
Because
gig?
it's the gesture. And $500,000. That's not even one of Kathleen Wynn's junkets to India with her spouse to tell the Indians they
Mind
shouldn't
you,
be so homophobic.
they're the same outfit that same Ontario government gave Drake what, $300,000 to help
Yes,
him
it's
do
only-
his OVO. So like,
It's only $200,000 more than Drake. And how many more basketball players are there on a team than Drake?
anyway, it's history in the making. The Raptors have been thinking
Yeah.
about it for a long time.
Been
They've
wanting it for a long
They
time.
built their new practice facility. They got a 905 team. They got 2 All-Stars, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They should have given. They robbed the coach, even though he's not one of my favorite, Dwayne Casey. In the West, Luke Walton been coaching the team, the Warriors. Well, Steve Kerr's out, so they gave it to the second guy, Popovich from the
Right.
Spurs. Now they fired David Blatch. The thing is that the coach who has the best record, the team that has
Should
the best
be the
record,
guy
the
coaching.
coach, yeah.
Right.
So in Cleveland, they
They
fired the
him
coach.
because
But
King James didn't like him.
But then they let the guy who just took over, Tyronn Lue, coach instead of letting Casey, the second team, coach.
Well, that's because he's
That's
coaching
highway
the
robbery.
team that is number one.
Yeah, but they're not following their own logic, because in the West, the guy who was coaching...
What do they say about the golden rule? The man with the gold make the rule.
True. But yeah, so all the NBA stars are here. Shaq's having a party with Snoop Dogg and Cardinal
Oh,
Official.
I mean,
2
think-
Chainz is here. Usher, Pink, you name it.
Oh, not only that, but the comedy shows that are happening now. Because there's Shaq's Comedy All-Stars are coming in.
I didn't
Okay.
hear about that. Go ahead.
Well, they got 2 nights happening, I think, at the Sony Center on the Friday night of the festival, of the All Star. Dave Chappelle has got 6 nights or 5 nights happening.
He's been selling out steady up in the at the
Danforth.
Danforth Music Hall.
They just added, I think, a Tuesday night.
Wow.
And I was going, I better find out if I can get a ticket. And then I said, man, what am I going to do? Be up at 10 o'clock in the morning to try and give somebody $125? And I said, nah. I better write some jokes.
Didn't you have Dave Chappelle when he was in town doing that stupid movie about marijuana?
Yeah,
up at the
Half Baked. He
Yuck
did the Nubian show twice.
Dig. Yeah, I saw him up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like I have a phone number for Dave and go, remember me? Remember that time when you wanted to go on at Yuck Yucks at the Black Show and I gave you a joint because I told you I couldn't pay you what you was worth? Remember Dave? You know, for somebody connected, I'm the most unconnected, least connected cat in the city.
Kenny, you just came back from Arizona and other places with Russell.
Yes,
but
but
I
I
can't
can't
mention Russell's name, man.
No, just
So-
like
so we're not going to any of them shows, brother.
if somebody's at the door of my show, they can't say I know Russell. I say, well, Russell ain't here. Get in line, buy your ticket. You know. So plus, I'm not the cat to drop anybody's name. I mean, Russell's even coming in. I think he's DJing a party
Pardon
that
me?
week.
Okay, yeah. Dig.
You know,
You ain't dropping names.
Then you've got We the North comedy show, which a lot of my proteges they've added a second show. And now Kevin Hart is apparently added a show on that he's doing.
And he's coaching one of the celebrity team.
He's coaching
one,
celebrity thing, and he said,
and
let me
Drake
make some
is doing the
stand-up
other.
money too.
Nice.
So if you look at that, I mean, it's almost like Just for Laughs wouldn't count for anything that week in this town.
No. And I mean, even poets. There's a poet All-Star versus All-Stars, veteran versus rookies. All kind of All-Star parties are happening. You know it is.
But I don't see this with any other sport. Like when the NHL has their All-Star game, you don't have Jim Carrey and friends, and Jimmy comes in and gets all his old stand-up buddies or his buddies from L.A.
It's a black thing.
You know, isn't Howie Mandel and his madness, where you see Howard Buzzgang coming up and Lou Dino's and any of that. So, you know, it's a thing for ballers, bro.
And well, also too, I mean, the other thing to consider, right, is that the ballers have been coming anyway. Shaq has a big party. Drake has his big party. For Carolina for years now,
Right.
they've been coming. And the NBA guys love Toronto. You know what they talk about? They don't want to play here.
They don't want to play here, but they have
this
to come
and that.
here.
Yeah,
Because the
Look,
dollar's worth 40 cents more.
forget the dollar. I'm talking about for your eyes only.
Yeah.
The strip clubs, man.
Well, they've
They
seen
love
strippers before,
but
though.
they love the strip clubs, man.
Well, they
love
all
the
do,
strip
because they
clubs.
make it rain. And you know who else is going to be raining with all these after parties? What happened when Drake had an after party? Everybody's so busy trying to be with the ballers and the high rollers. We ain't, but I think we forgot about the gun toters. So I hope that our black chief has many of his tribe out on the watch. I hope all the venues have more than
When the
adequate
yeah,
security.
I mean, that Big Shack party is at the same place, the Club Music at the CNE that they had. the
And
Drake
Snoop's
shooting.
having a party. I
Same
think
thing.
Maxim magazine was Snoop and
Yep,
somebody
that's
else.
the same one there. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I notice how quiet Drake has been. He's having some parties, right? You'd imagine, but you notice how quiet he is. And for the guy who's the ambassador, they haven't really been ambassadoring him around that
Well,
much.
after you've had 2 years in a row of shootings at your after party, you're not, it's like, remember how when John Sally had that New Year's Eve party the first year, the Raptors?
You know how many friends of mine came out with mink coats all that
You know how many people lost their car in the lake that night and didn't have no coats? And then
Big.
John Sally was traded a week later.
Yep, they had to get Sally out of town. He's a noted party guy himself.
You know, but I mean that was the end of Sally. So anyway, NBA fans. Oh, plus this is the sixth, the most expensive NBA All-Star tickets in 6 years.
What are they going at?
I don't even know because
2,000?
Because I was going to press the link for the prices for the article. It was in one of the Canadian financial magazines, and I would have had to allow advertising onto my phone to
And
get
you're too principled
to
for
get
that
more
shit,
information.
Yeah, dig. Like,
So
forget him, yeah.
I just said, well, let's just say a lot of folks can't afford it.
Yeah, because the Super Bowl was for like 2,000 to 20,000, I heard. So yeah, it's in that range though.
Yeah.
The Raptors are making money left over center, fist over left, or whatever that expression is. The Leafs
Hand over
make
fist,
money. Hand
yeah.
over fist, yeah. So it's going to be a big party. Toronto is the epicenter of the NBA world, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to get a lot of publicity out of it. The Raptors are staying right there at number 2 in the Eastern Conference and might end up playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, and who knows?
And let's just hope you can go to the New Hope King, which sounds like it should be a Black After Hours club.
It
The
should.
Hope King. Let's go to
Can
the
I
new,
have some cold tea, please?
Let's hope we can go to the New Hope King and there not be on the front page of the newspaper that next day.
Safe, everybody. Safe.
Safe and sane. Anyway, that's our time for this segment. This is Breaking Down the News, coming to you from the bunkers of Smitty TV with Clifton Joseph.
Balling it, baby.
And I'm a softballer. So we'll be checking you out again. Stay tuned. We got some more things to talk about.